KiT buzzed softly, as if it wanted to ask a question too, then complied. The car knew where it was going, even if the driver would rather not know. The city above vanished quickly, replaced by the concrete innards of tunnels. The lighting level dropped with every sector they passed. The woman sat motionless, hands on her knees, fingers thin and unadorned. Nothing unnecessary. Halfway through, she spoke. "You don't ask who I am." "It usually doesn't help," Tyke replied. "People lie anyway." "I'm not one of those who lie." He almost smirked, but didn't. There was something in her voice, as if the words passed through a filter of exhaustion without losing their edge. "And why do you need to go to -17? He asked. She turned her head, and for the first time her eyes caught the dim cabin light, heavy, scorched by something that doesn't heal. "To take back something I've been denied for far too long." Tyke didn't understand, but a sudden cold settled inside him. KiT crossed 3 more levels, and ahead the entrance niche of an old service tunnel came into view. Few people drove here. You weren't meant to be here at night, especially in the rain, as if the city exhaled along with the downpour. The woman said quietly, "When I get out, you'll need to be ready to drive fast." "How fast?" She glanced slightly to the side, as if at someone Tyke couldn't see. "We'll be pursued." His fingers tightened around the steering wheel. By whom? People who enjoy power. A faint metallic click sounded beyond the door. She added, "My name is Lena," and stepped into the darkness. Tyke remained seated, listening to the distant echo of rain dripping into the shafts. He didn't yet know that in a few minutes he'd have to drive faster than ever before, or that the evening would end in fire. Lena, Leosha, debt. The rain outside KiT had no intention of stopping. It felt as though the city above had decided to pour everything it had saved for weeks onto a single car. Tyke waited. The passenger had left nearly 20 minutes ago, saying a brief wait and prepaying for an hour. Warehouse block number 417 loomed in the darkness like a knocked-out tooth. Once it had been an underground neurosalon, then a morgue, then a den. Now it was just a hole where people ended up when there was nowhere else to go. He turned off the wipers, useless anyway, the windshield with a solid wall of water. On the timer in the corner of the panel, the numbers slowly ticked over. 001744, 001745. Tyke leaned back, pulled a flask from the glove compartment, what the seller called whiskey, though it tasted closer to solvent. He took a swig. It burned his throat nicely, comfortingly. In the mirror reflected an empty street and his own face, tired, with the kind of dark circles that no longer come from sleeplessness, just part of the skin now. A dull green light blinked at his temple, an old implant he'd never brought himself to remove. Not because he cared, just laziness and cost. 002312. The warehouse door creaked open. She stepped out, and she wasn't alone.